All right, let's get Usman Baban Gelzama. He's the National Secretary of MACBAN. Let's hope this works this time. Good morning and thank you for joining us. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
All right, so what is your impression of how that meeting went with respect to getting a solution to all that is happening? Go ahead, please.
To me, the meeting went very well, and we have succeeded in almost what we are here for. And by the grace of God, this development we hope will bring back peace to the southwest region of Nigeria.
You say the meeting went very well. Part of the directive was that all of those who were, illegally in the forest reserves needed to move. Then no night grazing. If anyone needed to graze, you need to come forward and register. Now you're with MACBAN. Are you equally taking responsibility for all the members, all those who graze, at least in Ondo State?
Well, you see, Chamberlain, Allah Cattle Breeder Association is an association. And just like we are associated, there are a host of other associations also in the country. We have our own members. All those who have agreed to register with us are our members. And whenever we speak on behalf of our members. We don't speak for the whole pastoralists in the country. But because we have a large spread, we have our presence in almost all the 36 states of the federation and in most of the local governments. That is why whatever happens, whether good or bad, it is associated to us. But we only speak on behalf of our members. There are a host of other pastoralist associations in the country, a lot of them. They are there, the Kautal Hore, the Allah Kautal Hore are there, the Gam Allah are there, Jam 94, a lot of them are there, and they all have their members, and they are all registered. So whenever we speak on behalf of our members.
This fracas that went on, was there any of your members that were either grazing in the forest reserve involved in all of those allegations that were leveled against those who were grazing?
Well, since we did not sort that out, we cannot say that we don't have members there. Until when we begin to sort out, that's when we'll know whether we have our members there or not. But let me put one record very straight for people to understand. You know, there is a difference between a forest reserve and a grazing reserve. Grazing reserves are those areas that are designated for grazing. Forest reserves are those areas that are designated for future development. If we say forest reserve, normally under the law, farmers are not supposed to farm in forest reserves. Herders are not supposed to graze in forest reserves. No fuel exploitation in the forest reserve. No hunting in the forest reserve, no bush burning in the forest reserve. Forest reserve is an area that is reserved for future development depending on what interest will be addressed by the forest. If it is the interest of the farmers, if the government decided farmers need more land, the government can decide to give part of their forest reserve to farmers to farm. If the government thinks the forest, the pastoralists need an area for grazing, the government is at liberty to take part of the forest reserve and give to pastoralists to graze. So forest reserve are those reserved areas that nothing is allowed to take place in.
Part of, I'm not sure what part of that you heard. Part of the allegation was that some of those who kidnap people use those areas as a hideout. And that was why they were suggesting, you know what, everybody, no one should be there, such that if anyone is found there, then they've got questions to answer. Did you understand that part?
see, Chamberlain, I didn't see why this thing has become a problem. Go to the northern part of Nigeria today, where the pastoralists belong. Go to those areas that were designated as grazing reserves. Some pastoralists don't dare to go there because of fear of kidnappers, because of fear of cattle rustlers in those forests. Take from Damaturu to Kano today. If you are driving, you will see most of the pastoralists living by the roadside, with their hamlets by the roadside. They are all living to towns, villages, and cities because they also fear to go deep into the forest because of fear of their cattle will be rustled by rustlers, or they will be kidnapped by kidnappers, or bandits will come and take over everything they have and kill them. So because of this fear, even those areas that are designated for grazing, the pastoralists today don't no longer go to those areas because of fear of what will happen to them. Go to the Bisa forest. The Bisa forest is a reserve, it's very large. Today you can hardly find a pastoralist take away his cows and kill him. So I didn't see how this thing is becoming a problem. Ondo has a lot of other areas that can be used for this grazing. And Ondo State has been living with pastoralists for decades. Some were born and brought up here. Some, even their parents, were born and brought up here. They don't know anywhere apart from Ondo State.
Yeah, if you don't mind me butting in for a bit, clearly this resolution yesterday wasn't only about Ondo State from the fact that Southwest governors all came there. But part of the resolutions of that meeting, you may want to look at it in this slide that we're about to put on air, between the northern governors and MACBAN, the resolution included the fact that MACBAN should embrace and be committed to modern breeding process by creating grazing reserves and practice ranching to prevent cattle roaming about. How do you intend to take that on as members of MACBAN or pastoralists generally? What's the plan?
You see, Chamberlain, we are never against ranching. We are never against ranching in any way. Because the pastoralists, the type of pastoralists we have in this country are those that still practice the outdated system of animal husbandry they inherited from their forefathers. Because there was no attempt to modernize the system of animal husbandry. Still, they don't know that today there exists in the world exotic cows who are weighing about 600 to 700 kilograms against the one that they have to weigh a maximum of maybe 100 kilograms. They don't know today there is one cow that can give an output of milk of 50 liters against the one that they have that gives a maximum output of maybe 3-5 liters of milk per cow. They don't know. They are not educated. Nobody try to educate them. And all this noise that is going on about ranching, about rigor, about colony, about national livestock development plan, up till now, we don't have a model on ground that the pastoralists will see and say, we don't know, we are left far behind, so we have to come up. They don't know. They are doing what they know because they don't know these new innovations of livestock and what have you. So
well, you know what they say, that ignorance is no excuse, Mr. Ngazama. And you know that the NLTP, which, I mean, is sort of a brainchild of NEC, championed by the Vice President, has been ongoing in some pilot states. So clearly something is being done to ensure that there's, proper model for ranching. But I'd like you to respond to this also, because it's quite important to know if some of these resolutions will be followed through. For example, they talk about night grazing underage herders. I recall last year, around this time, that same order was given by MACBAN to end all night grazing across the country, ensure that there are no underage herders. And yet again, we're having a repeat of that. So what happened? Why wasn't that implemented? And how are we sure that it will be implemented this time around?
You know, sometimes when we come up with a decision that are implementable, sometimes government don't give much attention for the sustenance of such things. We at the national level can come, call our members, sensitize them, and request the state branch to continue to sensitize them against these things. We were part of the team who came last 2 years and sat with the Ondo State Governor and decided on these things, that there should not be night grazing and there shouldn't be underage grazing and so many other things. So you see, even yesterday after our meeting, we sat with all those that we invited from across the region and emphasized on those things. And emphasize on those things, that there shouldn't be night grazing. Whoever intends to go on night grazing must have an interior motive to go and destroy somebody's farm. And from now on, if we catch anybody going on night grazing, we will report him to the security so that the security will punish and penalize him. So these are the things that we always emphasize and talk about.